Welcome to this tutorial on Bernafon Oasisnxt. Oasisnxt is a software which you need to program Bernafon hearing instruments. My name is Chris. Today I will take you through the Client and Hearing Instruments section of Oasisnxt. Client has 5 submenu items: Personal Data, Audiogram, ACT, Personalization, and Real Ear Data. In Personal Data, you can check that all the information which you have entered for your client is listed here. You can also select the language which is most used by your client. This is particularly helpful as the gain and output targets can be slightly different for some language groups. You can also select the rationale for the fitting. It is important to note that changing the rationale here will only apply for this particular client. If you would like a different default rationale, then you need to change this in Preferences. In Audiogram, you can see the client's hearing thresholds. If you have hearing instruments connected, you can also test the client's hearing using in-situ audiometry and then decide whether you want to use the imported audiogram or the in-situ audiogram for your targets. If needed, you can also change the measurement method, change the test signal, and transducer. In ACT, you can enter your client's ACT value if you have one. ACT is a new diagnostic test to measure speech and noise ability in only 2 minutes. You can click the link in Oasisnxt to learn more about ACT. You can also prepare recommendations based on ACT. This will optimize the program-specific settings of the hearing aid for your client. In Personalization, you can complete a questionnaire with your client to optimize the program-specific settings of the hearing aid. Your client's answers will influence the prescription of the selected program-specific features. The prescribed setting for these features will be indicated by a target icon. Real ear data consists of 2 tools, RECD and REUG. If you do not perform an RECD or REUG measurement, Oasisnxt automatically accounts for the size of the ear canal based on age. These predicted values depend on the selected rationale. If you have performed an RECD or REUG measurement, you can input the values into Oasisnxt. Our next submenu item is Hearing Instrument. Here, you can simulate hearing instrument fittings or detect the attached hearing instruments. To detect, simply select the Detect button or detect using the icon at the top. Both methods require us to select the appropriate programming interface if you have more than one connected to the computer. If you only have one programming interface connected, then there will not be a drop-down arrow. It is also useful to use Hearing Instrument to simulate a fitting if you are not sure if the hearing instrument is suitable for the hearing loss. This is particularly important if you are fitting custom hearing instruments, as some of the features are dependent on whether certain options are available. To simulate, simply select the family and style of the hearing instrument that you want to fit. You can select the same style for each ear by simply hovering over the style until the bar turns gray and clicking to select. Alternatively, you can select a different style for each ear by clicking on the left icon to select that style for the left ear, and the right icon to select a style for the right ear. Once the style is selected, the available hardware features will appear in the right-hand section of the screen. If you have selected a BTE, then all of the hardware features will already be selected, as they are all standard. If you select a custom hearing instrument, then the hardware features available will depend on the style you have selected. As mentioned earlier, it is important to note with custom instruments that the software features are dependent on the available hardware. This means that certain software features will not appear unless you have the correct hardware available. Once you have selected or detected the hearing instruments, the acoustics display becomes available. A useful feature of Oasisnxt is that you can access this acoustics display no matter where you are in the fitting flow and make changes if necessary. To access this, select the arrow on either side to display it, and the up arrow in the middle to hide it. The view in the display is the insertion gain view. It provides information regarding the targets according to the selected rationale, speaker strength, and the selected venting, so it provides valuable information regarding whether the device will be able to achieve the targets. This view can be changed in preferences to either an in situ SPL view, which also shows the MPO curve, or a fitting range with an HTL audiogram view. There is a lot of important information in the acoustical display graph. For this demonstration, I will use the insertion gain view. We can see the fitting range, which is the area below the light gray, the predicted feedback curve, which is the dark gray area, the targets for the selected rationale, and the simulated gain curves. We can see here that the simulated gain curves are not meeting the targets. This is because Oasisnxt is assuming that this is a new client who will not want the full gain. This can be changed in adaptation, which we will discuss in the fitting module. There are many vent styles which you can choose from. You need to be aware of which styles are available from your manufacturer so that you order the correct vent type and size. Oasisnxt will provide a recommendation for the vent. The recommended vent size is indicated by the large red or blue target. However, there is no recommendation for the speaker strength. When you are simulating, the speaker strength will always default to 85 for rights. When you connect a hearing aid with a mini-fit detect speaker, the speaker strength will be read automatically. When you connect a hearing aid with a mini-fit speaker, the speaker strength will still default to 85, and you need to change this according to the speaker you have attached. When you have a custom instrument connected, the speaker strength will be read automatically, and you will not be able to change it here. Simulating a fitting prior to ordering the hearing instruments is an effective way of checking whether you have chosen the right hearing instrument for your client. You can ensure that there is sufficient output available from the hearing instrument and that all feature options are available to meet the client's needs.